Welcome in to the podcast this morning. Chase Parham, Neal, McCready, Clark Ford Studio. Big day for one particular blue sky location. The grand opening beginning and running all week. The new superstore, the Epicenter. It's called there in Macomb. If you're in that area, if you're down south, a lot of different options for you. You know, free ultimate car washes. You got chicken on the stick specials today. You got buy one, get free mix and matches with burritos and pizza sticks and all kind of stuff going on there. Again, running all the way through Friday, but free mini coffees or water if you head on in. Frozen drinks, $1.89 fountain drinks. So many different options there. Again, that is there in Macomb.
Get a full slab of ribs for $15.
There you go.
Frozen drinks for $1.
A lot of options.
89-cent fountain drinks. $11.49 for a 12-pack of 16-ounce Miller Lite.
Oh.
Yeah, man, there's a lot here. $5.99 for a 12-pack of the little 7.5-ounce, the Ponies Budweiser.
Yeah. When's the last time you had an actual Budweiser? I mean, I know it's the king of beers and all, but when's the last time you had the actual Budweiser?
Grad school.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
So 19.
Long. Oh, you think it's been that long?
Yeah, 19.
Do you really?
Yeah, 93, 94.
At no point, just that's what was in the cooler and you were with somebody and that's what you grabbed?
No.
Really?
No. For no reason. It's just not.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's just
buy two Red Bulls, get one free today. There's a lot going on, man. Daily lunch specials. Chicken spaghetti today.
Chicken spaghetti?
Tater tot casserole tomorrow.
Okay. What's the rest of the week?
Red beans and rice on Wednesday.
That's been a staple for a long time.
Mm-hmm. I love red beans and rice. Meatloaf on Thursday. You a meatloaf guy?
No.
Really?
Nope.
Carson and I both love meatloaf.
Especially if you try to put the ketchup on top of it. Stay away. No thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Friday's just spaghetti. So Monday's chicken spaghetti. Friday's spaghetti.
Oh, okay.
If you were offered spaghetti or chicken spaghetti, which is your
regular
go-to?
spaghetti
all day?
Yeah, and a regular. I mean, I'm not a hater of chicken spaghetti.
No,
it's fine.
No, it's fine.
I got to be in the mood though.
As a kid, Glenview Junior High School always had chicken spaghetti fundraiser.
That was the fundraiser.
And so, yeah.
Chicken spaghetti.
We had chicken spaghetti dinner.
Because you could do it in bulk.
Yeah.
So it was one of the easier things.
And for some reason, after a while, I was like, I'm chicken spaghettied out. I was done with chicken spaghetti. And I'm not sure I've ever really gone back to chicken spaghetti.
Really?
Yeah.
Chicken spaghetti similar to Huntington chicken. It's two different things, but very similar.
Don't know that I've ever had Huntington chicken.
My grandmother is a Huntington chicken person too. So yeah, I got several things, but tell them about Clark Ford before we get there. Sorry, I'm about to really derail this thing if I continue. So go ahead.
Let's piss them off, as Tyler would say. 662-257-1900 is the number for Clark Ford. Call it. Ask for our buddy Corey Clark. We'll have Corey on the show tomorrow. Tell Corey what Ford product you're looking for. He'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours. It's right to the bottom line. There's no hassle. There's no haggle. You just get your quote, and the rest is up to you. You can shop it around. You can do what I've done, what I recommend that you do, and that is hop into a Clark Ford today. 662-257-1900. Corey will join tomorrow on the Campbell Clinic hotline. The Campbell Clinic is in Oxford now, 2608 South Lamar Boulevard, Suite 102, just across the street from the cottages at Hooper Hollow. They provide full-service orthopedic care, everything from sports medicine to foot and ankle surgery to spine and total joint care to pediatric orthopedics, physical therapy, and more. They've been working with my dad on his back here recently. It's been quite helpul. You can get in that environment as well. Just book an appointment at campbellclinicoxford.com or call 901-759-3111. Walk-ins always welcome at the Campbell Clinic. Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m.
I got several things. I'm going to go to answering a couple of questions to stream. I was already going to start the show with today, but I've got a little issue here, and I was going to talk about it later, but I'll never come back to it. One of the top newsletters that I read every morning that I grab some stuff from that's a little more off the wall that we talk about when I need a minute to do that. They're running a 64 bracket. Everybody does brackets. We're in the middle of March Madness, and we all like brackets. Of the 64 greatest inventions of all time. Okay?
Okay.
It's real nerdy, but I'm in. Like, I'm really fascinated in this. I'm plenty enough of a nerd to be really into this. Opening round begins today. They're letting social media dictate the winners. Okay?
Okay.
The number one seeds, I have a problem with one of them. Number one seeds, the wheel. Duh.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 1 overall, top.
Yes.
The wheel's been a life changer for us here,
Tough
guys.
to beat. Once that thing gets rolling.
Hey, look at you. There we go. Need the sound effects on your board over there. The internet. Okay.
I'm not sure.
We can say positive or negative, but okay.
Okay.
It's been a changer of the world.
Well, that is true.
Electricity.
Yeah, Ben Franklin's up here, man.
Yeah. Ben's our goat, okay?
Yeah.
Like, whatever you want to say, Ben's.
Ben and the wheel guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever came up with the wheel. Here's my problem on the 4th one. Fire. Nobody invented fire.
Oh, it's true.
The ability to harness the fire.
Okay.
But is that really an invention? I saw fire and went, hold on. That's like saying water. Well,
because lightning struck something and it set on fire, correct? And they figured, look at this, right?
Yeah, sure.
What are the 2 seeds?
Air conditioning.
That's my boy.
The printing press.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's big.
Agriculture. The ability to harness the crops.
Oh, that's pretty important.
Penicillin.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the 2s. See, you're in now too.
Oh, yeah.
You're looking at this and kind of going.
Like, what are the 16 seeds? I mean, who's going up against the wheel in round 1?
The Roomba. He's screwed.
No time. No chance.
The jacuzzi mechanism is going against the internet. Again, we're 16 seeds here.
I'm kind of cheering for the 16 in that one.
Dunking, but I don't know what that.
Dunking the basketball?
I don't know. I only have a graphic. I don't know. I'm sure we have whatever. And then the Segway is a 16 seed. Again, 16 seed.
Yeah, you have no chance.
So it is what it is.
Sure.
I mean, like the refrigerator's a 4 seed. That could hang on for a minute. Like,
oh yeah, it's
the ability to maintain our food.
Yeah, for sure.
So just like email at 14. It's changed things.
It has.
Yeah.
Where's the cell phone? Is that a 3?
It's got to be very high, but I don't see it off the top of my head. Like Bluetooth and something else is in an 8-9 game. Toothbrush is against the air fryer in a 6-11.
Oh, toothbrush all day.
Yeah. Coffee is against Find My Friends, or the ability to keep up with your apps if you lose them. That's an interesting 8-9 there. Like zipper versus pasteurization. I mean, we got some pretty wide opening round matchups here.
You could really get into these. We could piss some people off.
A certain a long time private toy is a 10 seed in this competition.
Oh.
So we'll see if it has the ability to make a run as we move through.
If the mood is right.
It's going against the credit card in round 1 in a 7-10 matchup. The winner gets air conditioning, though, so we're only hanging on for a second here no matter what.
Yeah, either way, that's losing the AC.
Yeah. So, anyway, sorry. Okay, I've got an NFL thing I want to go to with this new rule that might be going into effect today. That's where I was going to start, but I'll do this instead because it is a little more germane to our audience. I was asked up top here, why is everybody freaking out about 2-run rules when the job of Ole Miss baseball was to go into Knoxville and get 1?
It's a fair question because people are moving the goalpost.
And I knew this. I was talking to somebody on Saturday afternoon, and Ole Miss had just taken the lead in the 9th. They scored 4. I wrote yesterday, and it's 100% true, that was the best win for Ole Miss since they dogpiled in Omaha. Because last year was an abomination. It was the gutsiest. It was frankly the best. Tennessee has become arguably the hardest place to play in the SEC.
Okay.
Because of ballpark factors, their roster, a lot of reasons I'm not getting into. That's irrelevant to the conversation.
Sure, of course.
Saturday was the best win in a really long time. Going in, you had to win 1 game. You did. So yes, on the macro, Ole Miss is 3-3. They played a South Carolina team 1-2 that just swept Vanderbilt and Columbia. We're still seeing these huge home away splits. We'll see if it continues. I don't know.
Can I add something here?
Yeah, sure.
I've watched a lot of the league now. I've done 2 weeks in a row. I've done what I promised I would do. Hey, man, there's a lot of 3-3 in the league right now. I mean, Chase, there's a lot of 3-3 in the league.
Yeah.
And the difference between 5-1 and 1-5 is not much. Like, there's not a lot of difference between Arkansas and Auburn. Arkansas pitches it a little bit better, but I'm telling you, there's not a lot of difference. Okay. The league is so 500.
It's 13 teams in Missouri.
No one's winning 20 games.
Oh, You don't think so?
No one's winning 20 games. No one's winning.
I'm thinking about it.
I'm telling you, no one's winning 20 games.
If somebody does, I think it's Florida because they're the best team in the country on Sundays.
Yeah.
So you just got to win one more.
Yeah. But
if you told me to make a preseason champion right now, I would say Florida.
Agreed. But if you told me that Florida went 18-12, I'd go, oh, yeah, sure, absolutely.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
100%.
Sure.
Because the 2 5-1 teams right now, Arkansas, Kentucky, neither is going to win 20 games.
No.
No, they both might win 18.
Well, I don't think Kentucky's good, actually. Yeah. I think they're a paper tiger.
Arkansas pitches it so well on day 1 and day 2 of a 3-game series that they're gonna have it. They're gonna be very difficult to sweep.
Sure.
And so they're gonna hang.
Yeah, sure.
But my point is, the goal. This is what bothers me. It not bothers me. It's what when I'm listening to fans do football seasons with baseball. You can't look at that team and go, oh, I think we're a 17-13 team and we're going to host. You don't look like that. Your path to doing something in the offseason, frankly, is one that you're familiar with. Get kind of hot towards the end. Go to some regional that you get a break and you get to pull it off, and then get into a super where maybe you can hit.
Anybody just,
can hit your way there. That's your path to Omaha is not going to go through Oxford, probably.
Yeah, and if it does, then we'll talk about it at the time. I wrote in this in the mailbag on Friday, and I still continue this to be the truth, is I'm just going to sit here and watch until they get 14 wins. And when they get the 14th win, then we'll readjust the conversation based off how many games are remaining at that point. That is where I'm sitting right now.
So the path to 14, you needed to get one in Knoxville, and you did.
100%. You did the job. You had a nice game, but
you can dive into the Saunier thing on Sunday and go, "This is a problem."
I don't mean the Saunier thing. You're 3-3, and in the 3 losses, you were not competitive.
Yes.
So you won you won 2 toss-ups. You're not always going to win toss-ups.
No, you're typically going to win half.
And you blew
of your
Carolina out on last Saturday.
Right.
So the problem is that you're just giving games away.
You could easily be 1-5, 2-4 right now.
Yeah, your ceiling is 3-3. Is the problem.
Yes.
That's why people are going, and I get it. It's fair.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot freak out while also sitting here and go,
there's plenty to criticize and there's plenty to worry about. But at the end of the day, you're in the middle of the pack with the whole bulk of the
LSU's been
league.
run ruled 2 weeks in a row.
Yes.
Florida beat them yesterday. State run ruled them last weekend once.
They're not who they were a year ago.
No.
Like, that's an interesting series. They have to go to Fayetteville this weekend.
So they could be 3-6.
They don't pitch it particularly well right now.
Holman's good.
But
he's got to beat Hagen Smith,
who's been phenomenal.
Yeah. You would have made some money with us last week. We went 7-0 in our series predictions last week.
Nailed them all.
7-0. Frankly, the misses were because the upsets were too good. Like, they swept instead of won 2 out of 3 on the upsets. South Carolina won all 3. Georgia swept Alabama.
They did.
Thought Bama was not what that first week said. I still think that's right. Now, Tennessee's going to struggle somewhat. Here's my one hot take. I still think Tennessee has some issues away from home.
I do too. 100%.
They're so good in that park. They had an 18-game winning streak where Ole Miss beat them on Saturday. Their lineup is designed to just get the cheap home runs and kill some balls out of that place. The wind blows out. It's a small park. Mm-hmm. It's loud. It's a weird place to play.
Sure.
But
and to their credit, they've built to it, knowing that you're going to play a lot of your games there.
They don't have a ton of depth. They can dive a long fly ball on the road, depending on the park and the wind, some different things. They were not as sound in the 3 phases over the weekend as I thought they were going to be. Now, they still bashed Ole Miss to death 2 days.
Yeah.
Because, look, it's the part of the Saunier thing. Again, we can talk about this later in the week. I'm not spending the whole day on baseball. But you win on Sundays, and Ole Miss is 0-2 now on Sundays, really not being competitive in either game.
Yeah.
You win on Sundays by winning walks and home runs. You run into a ball out of the ballpark, or you keep the ball in the ballpark, or you walk and you don't give up walks.
Mm-hmm.
Last week against South Carolina, the South Carolina starter walked 5 people in the first 2 innings, and Ole Miss did not score. And then yesterday, Tennessee hit 5 home runs. And you didn't match it. You didn't get after their guy who you stranded 4 in scoring position over the first 3 innings. Yes, Charlie Condon is amazing, but Georgia around him is just okay.
Yeah, he's a terrific player.
So, point being, they're fine, but they're not fine all at the same time. and we'll dive into the minutia of that as we move forward.
And it's still early. You still have time to figure some things out. You still have some time to not figure things out. And a bad season's on the table. It's always been on the table because the league's that good. Or that's solid. Let me use that word. The league is that solid. There's nobody other than Missouri who's just crummy.
A little now Missouri's bad,
but that's it.
And they're about to go.
Yeah,
they're about to go 6-24.
Yes, but nobody else is bad. Everybody else does some things well.
I know it was right after, and you always have to understand the timing of these things. Mike's quote yesterday, kind of interesting, is at the end of the day, they didn't get swept, but he was really hung up on Friday and Sunday and the lack of competitiveness with this. I mean, his quote, because he was led into it with, hey, you guys got one, you go back home, that kind of thing. They were much better in every phase. We have to get better. It was a humbling weekend, and we have a ways to go. We need to look in the mirror, and I like our club, and we can get better, but we got humbled.
Well, here's the thing. If you want to be negative, I can be easy negative right now. If you're dependent on your Saturday starter to always win,
yeah,
the odds are he's going to have a bad day somewhere. There's going to be a day where he doesn't have command, he doesn't feel great, hits a little dead arm, whatever the case may be, right? Runs into some bad luck.
Mm-hmm.
That's
sure.
probably
beat 2-1. I mean,
probably going to happen at some point.
Sure.
Then what?
Yeah.
Someone has to step up and around that. And right now, there's
and I'll spend probably some of Wednesday with looking at the rotation and what to do with Doyle. Part of it is I'm not sure yet what I would do. I'm kind of going back and forth on what I do with it because he is clearly your ace. It's just a matter of where to put him right now and what it looks like around him.
I think I'd leave him where he is. Some of the Friday guys are so good that I would be scared to run him, like, for example, to run him against Holman or to run him against Hagen Smith and lose a 2-1 or a 1-0 game. Auburn lost a 1-0 game on Thursday night against Hagen Smith. You lose that, and then all of a sudden you lose Saturday, you lose Sunday, and now you're in trouble. I think I'd leave him on Saturday where he's at least got a coin toss chance most every weekend. That's what I think. You don't have the three dudes that you can just go, okay, here we go, we're going to match up. I think you've got to strategize a little bit.
My one disclaimer to that is it's going to put you either where you're constantly behind on Fridays or unless somebody gets better and you figure it out. I mean, in the current concept of where we are, you're going to be in all these games in the fifth inning where you're behind like 1 or 2 runs and you're constantly trying to figure out whether to blow a bullpen bullet or not on Friday.
Yeah.
And then you end up in Saturday where you don't have Josh Mallets because he threw 3 innings and you got beat 4-3 on Friday night.
Yeah.
The problem with the lack of length on Friday are as you guys are talking about pitching somewhat backwards with your rotation, is that it's not simply one game. You have to find a way to get through those 9 innings, and the score is dictating so much of how you factor your bullpen. It's why people throw their aces on Friday night.
Yeah.
Is to get as far into a game as possible, give yourself, in theory, the best chance to win and save your bullpen at the same time, even though we're not in the 10 years ago of guy going 8.5 innings and dominating at that point.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It's why I think in a lot of ways I like Riley Maddox because he doesn't walk anybody. So maybe he gets into 6, maybe he gets into 7, just simply out of pitch count at that point. But again, that's something for later in the week. I thought Florida was by far the most impressive team of the weekend. And again, I don't know what to make of like Georgia or some of these teams. It's still so early. As Neal put in his predictions, it's just hard, or his rankings. It's so hard.
It's almost impossible
to know anything.
It's really impossible when you try to do it. How do you separate?
I mean, your one sentence that I can't agree more is Vanderbilt still might host and be great, but they're not 5 years ago. It's parity has hit the league in that.
They're no longer a machine. They're good, but they're no longer dominant.
No.
I'm not sure anybody outside of Florida can be dominant.
Oh, And their best pitcher's throwing on Sunday.
I think
O'Sullivan's on a they're better, but they're dealing with a similar thing.
I think
right
Arkansas can be dominant on its Friday night.
Yeah, sure.
He's really, really good. His stuff against Auburn on Thursday night was elite. I don't know how much of that you watched, but it was elite. It was top 5 pick in the draft.
Oh, it is. And A&M was very good.
Throwing 98 movement.
Left side,
yeah, he's got run. He's tough.
Yeah.
And he's competitive as hell.
So, anyway. All right, we'll talk football, talk some basketball coming back from the break. First, Prime Shrimp, primeshrimp.com. A lot of different options for you. They got the new soy ginger. They got their best-selling option. That's the New Orleans-style barbecue. The signature is one of my favorite. The Louisiana Shrimp Bowl. Tons of different options for you with Prime Shrimp. We're going to make it easy. Give you a little bit of everything. If you buy 5 pouches or more, that's 25% off, 1/4 off with code RG. So go to Prime Shrimp. They deliver directly to your door. Fewer than 10 minutes, freezer to plate with Prime Shrimp. So again, 5 pouches or more. Stock up on your favorites. Try a little of everything. That's code RG with primeshrimp.com.
Are you retiring soon? How long should you wait to take Social Security? What accounts should you pull from first? Are you already retired? Should you consider Roth conversions? These are just some of the questions that can only be answered with the personalized retirement income plan. Andrew Seago Wealth Management, sponsors my 10 Weekend Thoughts, which are up this morning at rebelgrove.com. He specializes in helping folks just like you come up with their retirement game plan, whether you meet at his office in Collierville or prefer Zoom from anywhere. Schedule a free discovery meeting. See what they can do for you. It's rebelsretire.com. We're also brought to you by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating. The weather's warming up here soon. You want to make sure that AC is in tip-top shape. So get in touch with Comer, get in touch with Southern. Different names, same great people, products, and services. If you live in Oxford, Batesville, Tupelo, or the surrounding area, call Comer 662-801-1777. If you live in Hernando, Memphis, or the surrounding area, call Southern 662-429-4429. The College Corner is in Oxford now. If you're coming up this weekend for the Kentucky series, stop by the College Corner in the Oxford Commons right off of Sisk Avenue. 4,000 square feet of the best Rebel gear. Plenty of parking available. Their staff's going to have you in and out, ready for Swayze in no time. Also 2 locations in the Jackson area, and you can check them out at collegecornerstore.com. And we're brought to you by Argent Wealth, formerly Pinnacle Wealth. Argent Wealth is based in Ridgeland, Mississippi, represents clients in more than 20 states. Argent provides detailed, specialized investment management, financial planning, retirement planning for individuals and businesses, and much, much more. At Argent, investing is treated like a commodity. Decisions are made using objective information and research. Regardless of your level of wealth, they're going to sit down with you, listen to your goals, study your expenses, and put forth a comprehensive, detailed financial and retirement plan built just for you. It's myargentwealth.com.
Podcast is brought to you by the Ole Miss Athletics Foundation. Spring sports are underway. Single game tickets for baseball are now on sale. They return this weekend against Kentucky, as said. And then 2024 football season ticket and donation renewal deadline coming up March 31st, less than a week away. So if you want to get your priority points up for seat or parking selections, call the foundation, 662-915-7159. For further information, visit give2athletics.com. That's GIVETO athletics.com. So, did you see the, what do you think about this new kickoff rule that's going in potentially into effect today? You seen this?
I have not.
You not seen this?
No.
I'm in. I think I'm in. I'll go ahead and give you the lead here. John Fassel, the Dallas Cowboys special teams coordinator, is who's going to present at the NFL owners meetings that are happening this week.
Okay.
He is being assisted by the New Orleans Saints special team coordinator Darren Rizzi, because I mean, Cowboys and Saints dictating the NFL right now makes total sense. But
sure.
they are the two that are doing this. And it's a kickoff proposal, because the kickoff has been deemed obsolete in a lot of ways over the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have some stats on that. So
everybody just kicks it out of the end zone.
Rich McKay, the competition committee chairman, said that in 2010 there were 416 touchbacks and 45,000 return yards.
Okay.
This season there were 1,970 touchbacks and just 13,000 return yards.
Oh.
So a fall off of about 3 times, a little more than 3 times at this point. So here's the rule that the proposal is asking for. It's trying to increase kickoff returns and reduce injury at the same time.
Okay.
So they want to, or they don't want to. They are proposing to eliminate the running start of the kickoff team.
Okay.
No longer can take off running, and then incentivize kickers to drop kicks into a landing zone, which extends the goal line from the goal line to the 20-yard line. Any kick that drops in the landing zone, so inside the 20 but out of the end zone, must be returned. If it bounces into the end zone from the landing zone, it must be returned or downed, and any kick that falls short of the landing zone will be treated like an out-of-bounds kickoff and placed at the 40-yard line.
Okay.
Any kick that lands in the end zone or goes out of the back of the end zone is a touchback, but the ball is going to be placed at, right now, the 30, but possibly the 35-yard line.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So they're incentivizing not doing that because of field position at this point. The one other factor on this, and I did not know this, because we talk about how, it plays into two things. One, we talk about how all the rules are offense positive in the NFL.
Yep.
But also it's been harder to move the ball because quarterbacks are having tougher times, defenses are better, offensive lines are worse, all the things that we've talked about.
Yep.
It's been dictated. Scoring has been down every year since 2020, when the scoring average per game was 49 points total.
Okay.
It dropped to 45 points in 21, 43 in 2022, and 43.5 in 2023. 43.7, 43.5 the last 2 years. The guy from the Cowboys was asked if he thought it was going to pass. He said he felt really good about it in the morning. Then in the afternoon, thought people were getting some cold feet. But it might be minutia on the exact rule or moving 5 yards here or there. But he ends it with the one reason why he feels good is that owners want more scoring. That they will do anything to up scoring at this point in the NFL. I don't see a negative here. I'm good.
No, I'm for it. Cowboys and Saints just revolutionizing the game. Make the play more fun.
Hayden says it was the first Super Bowl without a kickoff return. I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
Because the kickoff has become where, it's a good point. What is the point of it? And I don't think you need to lose the kickoff.
No, kickoff returns are exciting.
Because if we don't get something like this, you're just going to start with a ball at the 25 in 5 years.
Agreed.
And you'll have to call up an onside kick.
Well, and this will make the kickers, you'll get to see the talent of the kickers more. Because right now it's just, hey, just boom the ball out of the end zone.
Yeah, so now it's, hey, can you drop it at the 2 in the corner?
And some of these guys are really skilled.
Make them return it back that way.
I mean, if you like, we cover college football.
Yeah.
And some of the college kickers, when we watch them like in practice and stuff, they're really talented with what they can do with the ball. So the NFL guys, the elite kickers, they're really talented. Their ability to place it in a certain spot.
Yeah,
I'm for it.
I'm having really hard time coming up with any negative to this. I mean, it's good. Now, again, owners don't always like change. I won't be shocked to see kind of a straw poll agreement, but then they go back to the drawing board on exactly what it looks like and some changes here or there. And
okay.
Because he mentions in the story, the coordinator for the Cowboys, that there has been some talk about, is it the 30 or the 35 that the ball would go to if it's a touchback? Where are you putting it? Are you trying to make it better or less or more or less punitive?
If you want to make it punitive, put that puppy at the 35.
Because suddenly
that's points in the NFL for the most part. You started drive
that's
at
a
the
good
35.
I mean, yeah, that's the equivalent of in like men's softball when home runs become outs, because it's like, okay, you can do that all day, so be precise with it here. It's fascinating.
It is.
I mean, I think I'm in. Yeah, I mean, again, more fun, less injury. What's not to like?
No, it's
run the ball back. Well, and one that I didn't think of, and I'm a little hesitant to say this has some huge effect, but over the course of a full game where if a team scores 40, or you got field goals too, say a team scores 38 points, that's 7 kickoffs for that team.
Yeah.
The 5 touchdowns, the field goal, and then the half, whichever way.
Uh-huh.
They said that they think it's even causing a little bit of fatigue for no reason on players because they're sprinting 100 yards 6, 7 times, 8, 9 times in a game as the scoring gets up.
For no particular reason.
Yeah, because it never results in anything to do with the play.
Yeah.
So if you cut out the running start, we're just playing a football play more at that point.
I'm for it. Sounds good.
Kick returners will have more responsibility too. Do not be a dummy.
Yeah.
Hey, you can let it hit, but you better get on that dang thing.
Don't turn it over.
Yeah.
Because that's points.
Because what's going to happen sometimes is a guy is going to let it hit at the 4, and it's going to make a weird hop, and then suddenly they got the ball at the 6.
Well, that's part of the skill I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Those kickers can do the deal where it lands and bounces straight up in the air.
Yeah. I don't know that we talked about this because we had a lot of other stuff going on. You buy that there is not going to be a commercial break in this 2-minute warning with the college football?
Not a chance in hell.
They're saying no 2-minute warning for commercial break.
Okay.
We're going to stay there.
I don't believe them.
Some TV guy's going to go, well, I mean, you're already in it anyway, so what's the difference?
Let's just do a quick one.
Yeah, just.
Yeah.
We'll be quick. We promise.
Along those lines, Viagra.
Yeah. This segment brought to you by Cialis today.
Yeah.
No, there's strategy there. I'm good. They ranked MSU this week in the D1 poll coming off a series loss.
I don't know. I hadn't seen.
Okay.
Things that don't matter on March 25th.
They don't. Just
things that just don't matter on March 25th.
I think Ole Miss is now 22 in the Baseball America poll.
Sure.
Speaking of.
Yeah. Again, Your Honor.
That will have no bearing whatsoever on anything to do with anything in late May.
Nothing.
As this pertains.
Zip.
Ole Miss women's basketball, 1 o'clock today against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, the 2-seed Notre Dame. They disposed of Kent State a couple days ago. Ole Miss beat Marquette 67-55. Pretty tight game through a half, and Ole Miss kind of dominated the second half at that point. Notre Dame will be a much larger challenge. Obviously, they're inside their own building. What is the name of their building? You wrote it this morning.
I did write it this morning. I don't remember what I wrote.
Something Pavilion.
Sure.
Isn't it?
Sounds right. I'm pulling up 10 Weekend Thoughts. I led 10 Weekend Thoughts with women's basketball for all the people who say that I never give it any attention. The name of the arena is
I don't even know why I care.
Purcell Pavilion.
Purcell Pavilion.
Purcell Pavilion. 1 o'clock today, ESPN, 1 o'clock Central Daylight Time.
So the head coach at Notre Dame, her kid was a draft pick. Is that correct?
Yes.
The Ivy kid?
Yeah. Plays for the Pistons.
Okay.
Really talented player. Was a lottery pick.
She's a former assistant for the Grizzlies.
Yes.
As well.
Mm-hmm.
So there's your.
A lot of talent.
Hannah Hidalgo, their best player, one of the top guards in the country for the Fighting Irish. That's 1 o'clock today, ESPN for that one. I'm not even sure what the bracket looks like or who they would play if they pull it off. Well, I mean, now I can come up with it in my head because it's 2-7, so you get the 3-6 winner.
You would pull it up. So
you wouldn't run into Carolina until the next round. Carolina, by the way, won their first 2 rounds by 90-something points combined. That opening game against Presbyterian, Carolina was favored by 52.5.
All right, today, let's see.
Yep.
Where's Ole Miss?
They're in Carolina's bracket.
Yeah, I'm looking.
So top left.
Top left. Okay. So in Ole Miss's bracket, South Carolina will play the winner of Oklahoma and Indiana.
Okay.
And Oregon State,
okay,
who beat Nebraska, will play the winner of Ole Miss and Notre Dame.
Okay. You and I have both watched Nebraska play women's basketball this season.
3 times.
So, have you really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Ole Miss plays at 1. Caitlin Clark plays at 7 tonight against the West Virginia Mountaineers.
Yeah.
If you're curious about that.
The Athletic and the Pulse thing today said that West Virginia has a 44% chance of completely ruining the tournament for people like me.
Yeah, apparently West Virginia is a weird matchup for Iowa.
They steal the ball a lot.
Yeah.
If Iowa wins,
Neal would be telling the officials, we're going to call a lot of hand checks on the Mountaineers tonight, guys. If West Virginia wins, they're going to earn that bad boy.
I would be like, you see the team over there with 22? They're winning, okay? Figure it out. Well, they did it in the Middle Tennessee LSU game.
They kept LSU alive.
I mean, they did.
They did.
And I got to be real. I don't blame them.
Because LSU is not playing very well right now.
Who are people watching in the Final Four? Middle Tennessee or LSU?
Hey, Rick Insel's done a hell of a job,
especially with this
one.
Mulkey thing.
I mean, are we shocked Kim Mulkey went aggressive on this?
No,
I mean, come on. What about her in any way said, she's just going to let that play out?
Yeah, I saw someone go, see, that points out that she's guilty. I'm like, wait, hold up. It
points out that she's Kim Mulkey is what it points out.
Did you expect a timid response? What about her made you think that she was just going to take that? I mean, seriously? What's interesting for me is that I know all these people. Like I've known Kent Babb forever.
So what's the actual story? Do we know? Because, by the way, Pat Forty, that was some Bush League shit the other day.
Yes. Well, duh.
I don't have anything, but I'm going to get the Twitter clout off taking somebody else's content and ruining it in the meantime.
Yes.
I mean, good God.
I don't know what the story is or when it's running. I mean, apparently it is somewhat Brittany Griner related. Look,
it's from the Baylor stuff. Okay.
And here's the thing. Two things can be true at one time. Kim Mulkey can be a really over-demanding, domineering, borderline abusive coach.
Sure.
Okay? And the media cannot like her because she does not view things the way they want her to view things. Two things can be true at the same time. She can be, the expose can be newsworthy.
Yeah. Factual even.
And it can be a witch hunt at the same time.
Fact-based stories can be witch hunts.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this one is. I don't know.
I can run a media. I mean, no politics or media jokes aside. I can run a media outlet where I do nothing but report things that are 100% fact. I can also be the most biased media outlet in the country at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then I'm going to go here with this thing. I don't know where we started this with coaches are supposed to be fantastic people. Some are. Some are really nice people. But like any other field, there's some really horrific people in coaching. It's a bottom line field. You get paid in advance if you win. You get fired and left for dead if you lose. These are super competitive people. Don't be surprised when some of them go over the edge.
Competition, money, audience, all of it. All factors in.
Yeah. I don't know that anyone has ever put Kim Mulkey up for miscongeniality. Okay? I mean, that shouldn't surprise anyone. Hey, who are your favorite 5 people? She's never making the list. She's a hell of a coach. She's a hell of a... Look, and she's one of the most competitive people. I've known about Kim Mulkey since I was in middle school. I watched Kim Mulkey play in person women's basketball at Louisiana Tech. You will not find, think Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Okay? You're not going to find a more competitive women's basketball player in the history of women's basketball. It's not going to happen.
Yes. She will metaphorically cut you. And maybe not metaphorically.
And maybe not even metaphorically.
Yeah.
I mean, she's the one that before she takes the court, you probably should put her through the metal detector. I mean, she's nuts. But that nuttiness makes her great, okay? Yeah. I mean, nobody on the court would talk to Kobe Bryant and go, that dude's sane.
Yeah.
No. Michael Jordan. We watched the Last Dance, and like one of the takes from that was, oh, God, he's a sociopath.
Yeah. So
you know what I mean? So that's my thing. And then so when she says that about the media, I'm like, yeah, and she's right. The media's lost a lot of credibility over the last several years. And when you send a list of questions on Tuesday and say you haven't, if that indeed happened, that's kind of it's not great journalism. You have until Thursday to provide answers.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm not saying that happened. She said it happened.
Yeah. So anyway, women move on after tonight again. Ole Miss Marquette. Ole Miss Notre Dame 1:00. Iowa 7:00. West Virginia to tonight. I have no idea who else is still in it from the SEC if somebody is.
I'm looking real quick.
Outside of Carolina.
LSU still in it. Tennessee is still in it. They play NC State today at 3.
Okay.
Alabama got eliminated. They lost to Texas.
Okay.
South Carolina.
A&M played Nebraska in round 1. Did they lose?
Yes.
Okay.
61-59.
Okay. Oh, close game.
By the way, A&M Houston last night was.
I was about to say, look, the SEC took it on the chin. I'll get into that in a couple different ways here in a minute.
Kinda.
That's what I'm saying. I'll get there in a second. There's been 3 games that have been incredibly captivating, though. 2 of them involved SEC teams. I know they blew them out at the end, but Alabama-Oakland was great yesterday. I mean, Grand Canyon, not Oakland.
Yeah.
Was fantastic yesterday. I mean, the frenetic pace that both those teams played in looked like we were playing arena football for 40 minutes. It was great. And then A&M last night, they come back from being down 12 with 2 minutes to go. They hit a 3 in regulation to force overtime. Houston's got 4 starters fouled out at that point. Buzz has his guys playing pretty damn well in the postseason. I mean, it was fun last night. A&M was great. The one other game in addition to that was obviously Oregon and Creighton the other night. That was a fantastic game. That was also a fun game for the viewer because it was McDermott and Altman and the Creighton history that goes on with that. I have been interested in the tournament because you're interested in the bracket and the tournament from those ways. But there's only been really 3 or 4 games that have captivated me from an individual game standpoint, and those are the 3 at the very clear top of my list.
Oakland, NC State was.
It was great.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was great. All 3 research triangle teams in the Sweet 16, UNC, Duke, North Carolina State.
Florida, Colorado was a great game. Look, people like the tournament. I kind of gave up on A&M last night and just barely stuck with it. And then it was by the end I was kind of disappointed for them.
Bama gets North Carolina next. Tennessee gets who?
Creighton?
Oh, that's right. Yes, that is correct.
Hey, Tennessee looked good.
They did. They had a little lull that let Texas hang around there in the second half, and
then they got them.
And Creighton can't do that again where they shoot like that.
No,
because they were horrendous from the field.
And Tennessee's going to put the screws on.
We also might be just doing a lot of stuff to waste time for the champion to win.
UConn. Yeah.
That's a damn buzzsaw right there.
That's a rolling ball of butcher knives, man.
Like, the dude from Northwestern wasn't even upset yesterday. He's just kind of looking across going, this was a bracket loss. I mean, what do you want to do?
Kind of happened last year. They started blowing people out. Remember, they blew out, I think it was Arkansas in the Sweet 16, and everybody's like, they suck. And it was like, I don't know. It might be the other team.
They've won 8 straight tournament games by double digits.
At some point, we have this tendency in media, especially, to focus on who lost. Peter King, I don't know if you listen to the podcast. Peter King did a podcast with the journalist. He wrote the Rocker story years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Peter King made a great point. It was one that I took to heart. I'm a big Peter King fan. I love his journalism. He said one of the things that he noticed was when the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl, everybody wrote about how the other team lost, how the Niners lost, the mistakes that Kyle Shanahan made, the mistakes that the Niners made.
Yeah.
He said that was the whole focus of the media. He said, I went in and talked about how the Chiefs won, the play that they ran to win the game. And he's right. If you think about it, we are so focused on breaking down a loss that we never really, not never is too big of a word. We far too often do not give the credit to the team that won. And that Northwestern Connecticut game is a great example. Northwestern didn't lose because Northwestern lost. Northwestern lost because they ran into a much better team.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they lost.
They ran into the best program in college basketball today.
Yes.
The defending national champions who probably are winning it again.
Well, if someone beats them, it's going to take one hell of a day. I mean, someone's going to have to bring it. And that happens in the tournament.
Sure.
Years ago, Villanova shot 79% in a final when I was 15 years old. It was one of the damnedest things. They beat a Georgetown team that was better than them. NC State played the game of its life in 1983 to beat Houston.
UConn gets San Diego State next, by the way.
That was a great game.
Credit to San Diego State, by the way.
San Diego State UAB was a great game.
It was.
I hated the officiating in it. Kind of got UAB in some foul trouble. But the big kid, Lede, was unstoppable. And that's why they won. But, boy, he'll have to have the game of his life to beat UConn.
I thought officiating has hurt the league compared to what they're used to in the regular season, frankly.
Yeah.
Getting into more foul trouble, more ticky-tack stuff being called, or at least things that I see as ticky-tack because I really only watch SEC basketball during the year. Yeah. So to me, it looks like it's officiated differently. Maybe it's not nationally.
Well, I mean, Auburn lost to Yale because the first 4 minutes, Baker Mazzara gets the technical, gets thrown out of the game. Auburn wins that game if he plays.
Well, sure. Yeah.
You know, and SEC officials, I think, are used to his.
They wouldn't have his chippiness. They wouldn't have flagrant him to that point. Yes.
You know, and he does it in a tournament game early on, and it's like, no, you can't do that, and you can't do that. No. You're just so stupid, so stupid.
I mean, Florida got beat by Colorado. They were without a player.
They were.
Auburn had the ejection.
Mm-hmm.
Again, dumb. Sure. Deserved it.
Sure.
Kentucky is a fascinating case.
Oh, well, now the Kentucky deal.
Well, and I'm going to pose a question to you after the break, but I'm leading up to that.
If you read my 10 thoughts and you do it on a phone, you're going to miss something. If you'll read my 10 thoughts on a laptop or a desktop, you're going to see a video that I linked. It's funny because it's a fan doing it, but the fan knows basketball really, really well, and he shows where defensively.
I don't think I saw this because I was on a phone.
Yeah, defensively, Kentucky, their defense was absolutely horrific. Strategically, fundamentally, it exposed coaching. Lazy, out of position, from minute one to the final shot. The way they defended screens. The kid for Oakland hits 10 threes. At some point, you've got to be like, hey, that dude's not getting a shot again. And it's not like he's Kobe Bryant out there. He's a former Lyft driver. All right? I mean, he's not the greatest athlete in the world. You have athletes. He cannot be the guy that keeps getting threes. And he's getting open threes off of
to the exact spot he needed to.
Off of basic screens, exactly where he wanted the ball.
Left wing, go.
Come on. Can't happen. Can't happen.
Well, it's where I was going here. And it's amazing that Kentucky is the poster child for this, given what Cal's tenure has been for the majority of the time that he's been in Lexington. But Jay Wright's quote, you put it in 10 thoughts. I heard it as well. The era of taking these young freshmen and trying to play against older players is over. I think Cal did a phenomenal job with these guys all year. As you can see, they're playing against grown men. The guys in Kentucky will be far better pros than any of these guys on Oakland or the other guys in the tournament, but they're not as good college basketball players. At this point in their careers, there's not as disciplined yet as the guys for Oakland. It's not Cal's fault. They're 18 years old, and they're in this era where everyone is telling them how great they are. Just show up in college, you're going to win. Doesn't happen that way. As more guys stay in college because of NIL, it's going to be tougher for young teams like this to be successful. Now, Jay Wright is being nice because Cal put the damn roster together, and he has more resources than anybody else in the country, so it is your fault.
Well, here's Cal's problem, is that he's made a reputation off all these lottery picks. And he's had a bunch of lottery picks. I mean, look at the NBA, man. It's just like Kentucky this, Kentucky. It's all over the place. But Jay Wright is right in that you put a bunch of 18-year-old kids against 22 and 23-year-old men. Look, I mean, I see it with my son all the time. He's 17 now. And the physical difference from him at 17
and what he'll be like at 22
to even like a year ago is unbelievable. And if he were an elite athlete, he's close. If he were an elite athlete in 3 years, 20-year-old Carson would destroy 17-year-old Carson.
Yeah.
You'd eat him alive,
spit
him out. Well, that's happening in the tournament right now. Look who's winning. It's older teams. It's guys with 20 and 21-year-olds. Kentucky, their young guys felt the pressure the other night. They saw it. And so does Calipari change his, assuming he gets more time there, and $33 million says he probably will. If he gets more time there, does he change his strategy and dive into the portal now where they have the resources to really fish at the top of the portal?
Yeah, that's where I'm going. We'll go with that after the break. I got something on that. First, Northeast Spark NESPRC service pool across rural communities. 2 packages, the Ignite, the 100 Mbps, or the Blaze. That is their 1 gig option. Your hometown team bringing you world-class broadband. That's NESpark.com, 662-238-3159. Phone service, parental controls, network security, wireless mesh extender for those who need the extra help and more. So again, that is 662-238-3159.
We're also brought to you by John Edwards, Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. He's part of Virtuoso. It's a worldwide network of travel partners that allows John to supply his clients with added values, unique benefits simply not available to other travelers. If you're thinking about planning a special trip, he can provide added bonuses that create a lifetime of unique memories. Just get in touch with him at 901-494-3387 or jedwards@regencytravel.net. Oxford's newest Greek restaurant on the square, Opa's the perfect place to plan your festive dinner party, your company dinner. Fabulous food, great craft libations as well. They can accommodate up to 200 guests. For catering or booking information, contact Jeannie, 601-421-7147. We're brought to you by Service Specialist Staffing and Recruiting Agency. They've been connecting great job opportunities to candidates since 1967. If you're on the job hunt, whether you're seeking an entry-level position or you're a seasoned professional, they have opportunities across the board. IT, engineering, dentistry, accounting, law, manufacturing, human resources, and more. They've got it at Service Specialist. It's always free for the candidates, so you've got nothing to lose. Give them a call, 601-573-9242, or check out ServiceSpecialistLTD.com. Get the beautiful and healthy smile you deserve at Corinth Dental. Dr. Bubba McQueen, Dr. Jenny Beth Hendrick are devoted to restoring and enhancing the natural beauty of your smile using conservative, state-of-the-art procedures that will result in a beautiful, long-lasting smile. From routine checkups to advanced treatment, including implants and Invisalign, Corinth Dental is here to help you achieve your smile goals. So schedule your appointment today. Take the first step toward a better version of yourself. It's corinthdental.com.
Bigger failure, Auburn or Kentucky?
Kentucky.
Because of what we're talking about?
Yeah. I mean, they've got elite talent on that team.
Auburn's the only team with
Auburn failed.
top 10 efficiencies.
Auburn failed.
You had a run possible.
But Auburn hasn't failed like this consistently. This is since 2019, Kentucky hasn't won an NCAA tournament game and has won 1 SEC tournament game.
That's correct.
It's getting exposed. Bruce has had a little more success.
Are we sure Cal Stick works with portal guys? We have this conversation all the time.
I'm not sure of anything.
What says he's guaranteed to out portal this dude just because it's Kentucky? Because the older guy doesn't necessarily care about the training room the same way the young kid might, or this or that or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's money.
I know. No, your question was, are we sure? And my answer is no, we are not sure. Emphatic no, in fact. Hell no, we're not sure.
That's a good point. And Kentucky basketball has a little A&M football in them where there's a lot of cooks in that kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And getting all those NIL guys to agree, hey, we're going to go we're not going to go recruit the flag kid, and we're not going to go crazy on these high school whatever and spend all this money the way we've been doing it before. No. We're going to go grab the dude from Northern Iowa because he's going to fill this role for us.
Well, and look at John Shire at Duke. I mean, they've kind of worked the portal a little bit. And he's got some guys to stay. Like Filipowski stayed a second season. And he's got Cooper Flags coming there. North Carolina is a much more consistent program right now than Kentucky.
Kyle Wilson, thanks as always. Appreciate you in the stream. It says, do you think there's any way Kentucky goes after Oates, even with his extension? Should they make a change at Kentucky?
I mean, they should.
Make him say no.
I have no idea what the dinging is now. Oh. There's a ding popping up out of nowhere.
It's a message. $33 million I think is the number. If I have that right.
I think that's right. It's roughly that.
$33 million to fire a coach, while also needing God knows whatever Kentucky would need to put a complete roster together. I mean, it is a fascinating deal that Kentucky is the one that is trying to develop players in some ways in 2 and 3 years and is getting exposed with young dudes. It's fascinating.
Yeah. I mean, we're in an era now. Like I keep writing about this with Ole Miss where they might be bringing in as many as 11 guys out of the portal. I don't think the number will be that high, but it's potential that it's that high. It's not even that big of an outlier.
Some of the thing too, though, I mean, look, I think 4 schools are in a pile when you talk about the level of resources that this is. It's Kentucky, Kansas, North Carolina, Duke. It's probably the 4. Basketball-centric places.
Yeah. I don't know what UConn's is.
Well, sure. But they do a different way. UConn's not signing the 3 best players in the country.
No,
that's
true.
It's not a good comparison.
Probably put Arizona in that mix too, by the way.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, okay, sure. That's 5 schools.
Okay.
Kentucky is by and large the worst one of those 5, and it's not even in the same stratosphere.
Not even close. From a consistency standpoint, not even close.
Well, from a
anything
pinnacle standpoint.
Yeah.
They can't even go on a run.
No, his calling card right now is he puts guys in the league. Yeah. That's it.
He recruits great pros who are bad college basketball players relative to their overall talent level.
Yeah. Look at the guys in the NBA that played at Kentucky, and then look at what they did at Kentucky. It's incredible.
Dan Hurley leave UConn?
No, man, I don't know. If I'm him, I don't know that I do.
No.
I mean, unless you're just wired to try something new, I mean, you got to look in the mirror and go, this is working.
And we can literally be here until we're 98 years old.
Yeah.
I can suck 10 years in a row, and they ain't firing my tail.
And if 5 years from now, I don't feel like the commitment's there anymore, we'll just go, I can get any job I want now.
Yeah. My agent can go, hey, Dan, Dan's on the phone. You want to talk to him?
Yeah, 100%. Here's the thing about Calipari. I'm not sure John Calipari is going to listen to constructive criticism, even from peers like Jay Wright who've won titles.
No,
I don't know that he's going to listen to
an arrogant son of a gun.
Oh, my God. I mean, I'm not sure he believes other people.
He just thinks it's bad luck. It's his players' fault. I did the right thing. You guys sucked. You heard the press. You heard the.
Oh, yeah.
In saying that, they're all getting paid. So if they are wrong, sure, call them out. I don't care.
Sure. No, it's something I've got.
We're no longer veiled in this. Yeah. Well, I mean.
No, absolutely. 100%.
I don't want to yell at the English major.
That's one of the things I give Chris Beard credit for. At that Texas A&M loss when Ole Miss didn't show, we asked some tough questions. He was like, these are fair questions. You guys should have directed them to the players, too.
It's fair.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. Now, you should make those players available, but yeah. So at the tournament, I did. And the answers were, frankly, in spots, a little childish.
Sweet 16 games, UConn, San Diego State. As previously mentioned, Illinois, Iowa State. That's a 2-3 matchup.
That game right there.
That's a damn good game.
That's appointment viewing.
Both those teams can absolutely give UConn 40 minutes.
No doubt.
So that.
Well, Iowa State is tough as nails.
They
man.
are.
And Illinois is really talented.
I think Iowa State got job not getting a 1 seed, frankly. So
certainly can make that argument.
On the bottom half, North Carolina, Alabama.
Should be a fun game. Stylistically, it's two different. Alabama can score, and when you can score like that, you do give yourself a chance.
And they are playing very well, but I think Arizona handles Clemson in the final game from that side.
I tell you what, that guy at Clemson's done a hell of a job, though. That program not so long ago was just like,
Yeah.
And now they're Sweet 16.
Mark Few and the Zags just keep on zagging. I mean,
that's on us.
We had them all dead and buried, and Mark Few just back in the Sweet 16.
9 straight seasons. And he's done it with older guys and younger guys. He had Jalen Suggs. He had Chet Holmgren.
Yeah.
He's done it with young guys, elite one-and-dones. He's done it with Drew Timme, who played for 8 years. He's done it with all – there's a lot of credit to Mark Few, man, he's
I
getting
have
it done.
zero attachment whatsoever. I was upset for him. He didn't win a title a couple years ago. He deserves a title. He's a guy that I hope gets one before he's done.
Yeah, I would be happy for him.
I mean, I talk about that in baseball all the time. I think fan bases and programs like that are that good over that long, they deserve a title.
Yeah.
Mike deserved a title. State's fan base deserved a title. Dave Van Horn deserves a title. I think people deserve championships when they dedicate from a sports-wide administration fan base standpoint to that level that they've done there at Gonzaga and in Washington. That's pretty crazy.
Did Dave Van Horn get back for the third game of that series, or did he?
I have no idea.
He managed the first game,
Yeah.
and then his daughter had triplets.
Yeah, I don't know. No clue.
Can you imagine triplets?
No.
Laura and I had that conversation. Like if one of the kids had triplets, like
a lot of zone defense at that
three
point.
babies.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Can't even imagine.
Purdue now in Gonzaga this week. Tough task. Purdue's really good.
It's gonna be a hell of a game.
I
It's going to be a hell of a game.
Again, I love boy Adam Kuffner. I have no whatever, but I hate them. I hate watching Purdue play basketball.
Really?
I want them out of here.
Because it's kind of old school?
No, it's not that it's old school. It's that, and I know they have a lot of other pieces, but
Edie's really good.
He's great. It's not a negative toward him, but I feel like he's so good that it hurts my viewing because Purdue's literally their offensive game plan is give him the ball and move.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but
it feels like I'm going back in time watching Virginia with Ralph Sampson.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah. And so I've kind of enjoyed the nostalgia of watching Purdue.
Keep me in context. They're great. It's what you should do. You don't want to outcoach yourself and go, well, let's go win another way. I understand that. I'm talking about strictly for my optics and viewing.
Yeah.
I just kind of get bored. And I go, you're kind of like one dude who's 5 years older than everybody else, just putting the ball in the basket and playing a bunch of toddlers. And I kind of go, okay. I guess I'm just a little over it a little bit with Purdue.
Sure.
And it's fun when they lose because it's always fun when they lose. And Matt Painter seems like a damn good coach and good dude.
Ginger says triplets, Lord. Yeah, basically what I told Laura is if that ever happened, you just go, I'll see you in 3 months. I mean, just go. Help. Leave.
Yeah.
I'll hold the fort down.
What is going to be a really, really fun game, Creighton and Tennessee.
Sign me up.
Awesome.
Sign me up.
How many Final Four teams you got left? All of them?
All of them.
Yeah, I do too. I haven't looked at
I had
Siskiy's
Connecticut
bracket challenge to see where we're sitting in this bad boy.
I had Connecticut, Houston, Creighton, and Arizona.
That might have been exactly what I did. I don't know. Let's pull it up. I'm sure I'm not doing well, but I do think I have all Final Four teams remaining at this point. Yeah, UConn, Houston, Creighton, Arizona.
Are we have the same Final Four?
Mm-hmm, okay. I guess, yeah.
Great minds and all.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, can you imagine your diaper bill on triplets? I'm sorry. We've been really having the triplets discussion this weekend.
Just switch to the cloth diapers. Just clean them.
Dude, I don't know.
You out on that?
That'd be
a lot of cleaning too.
That's a lot of cleaning.
A lot of cleaning.
A lot of cleaning.
Grind said one of his brackets had Auburn versus Kentucky in the title game. That one didn't
go well.
That did not work out.
That's not a winner.
That's one of those 1 percentile ones that you.
You could sort of watch the Auburn thing unfolding. Was that Friday? Yeah.
Is there nationally any perfect bracket left?
No.
They're all gone?
All gone.
I mean, duh. But I saw Siskey did hit his parlay yesterday with all the favorites winning.
He's done well.
Yeah.
He's made some success. He's had some success betting college basketball.
His system is not bad. It works. It's got to stay with it.
Yeah.
It's got a chance.
Well, you have to be consistent and can't panic when you have a bad day. Because
like
you're going to have a bad day.
It's like the team that bunts. You can't bunt some of the time.
No.
That messes with analytics. You either bunt or you don't.
Right. Knowing that sometimes it's not going to work out.
Yeah. Process, as Nick would say.
100%.
At this point. Can't get mad at the results after what. This is what we believe in.
This is what we believe in. We're convicted to
Lane does it with 4th downs.
100%.
I'm not pissed off. Okay.
Had the 4th and 1 from the 34 not worked out, and they lost the game, and he would have been questioned, and people would have said, you're crazy, and he would have said, yeah, but if I did it and it worked, and sure enough, it worked, and it was probably the play of that game.
Season. Arguable.
Oh, season. Good point.
Arguable.
Yeah, well.
Arguable.
No.
You're screwed. You don't get that right there.
No, you're right.
You're not going to Sugar Bowl, Peach Bowl, whatever.
Assuming that the game finishes.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
sure.
yeah, sure, of course,
yeah.
100%.
You don't get that. Your chance of winning went.
Yeah, you could argue that was the play of the season.
You could.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Jaden Daniels throwing the ball 4 inches high.
Well, getting the 2 false starts or whatever, that was big.
Yeah.
Because his chances from the 15 are different than the 25.
Yeah. Sure. All right. Podcast brought to you in part by G&M Pharmacy, 662-236-2222. They deliver locally in the Oxford area, and they offer MedSeat. Free prescriptions same day each month. Take care of you. Also available in Holly Springs with Tyson Drugs. They want to be your community pharmacy, do whatever they need in that area. So, again, whether it's be Oxford or Holly Springs, that's 662-236-2222.
Are you a displaced corporate executive wanting to put your career in your own hands? Are you an experienced entrepreneur looking to diversify? Either way, Andy Ludicky can help. He owns multiple franchises and businesses. He uses his expertise to help others find their American dream through a very thorough and free consultation process. So call Andy, put your life and your career in your own hands. It's 100% free. You've got nothing to lose. MyPerfectFranchise.net. Andy at myperfectfranchise.net or 404-973-9901. Southern Traditions Farm is a 68-acre, 32-stall upscale equestrian training and boarding facility in Canton, Mississippi. 2 sand rings, a grass ring, miles of wooded trails, a whole lot offered at Southern Traditions, including horseback riding offerings from beginner lessons to advanced competitions to even competing at nationally recognized competitions. Check them out on Facebook or Instagram at Southern Traditions Farm. And we're brought to you by Art Hayes of Sotheby's International Realty. I've been corrected. Are you thinking of making a move? Put the power of Sotheby's to work for you. As a licensed agent and a supporter of all things Ole Miss, Art can help you buy or sell in your hometown or anywhere in the world at no charge to you. Seriously, so call and ask Art how. 612-805-5929 or email Art at Arthur, ARTHUR.Hayes at lakesmn.com. Also brought to you by Massage by Melinda. Each service offered in 30, 60, and 90-minute increments. 10% off for all clients who mention Rebel Grove. When you book your appointment, it's 2617 Suite 6 West Oxford Loop in Oxford, or you can book online. The site is, I'll link it here in the message board and on the thread in a minute. It's also up at rebelgrove.com. You can get in touch with her at 662-671-1667 or 662-550-4080.
Do we have odds out yet for the tournament?
I've not looked. I can't answer that.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. I'm just kind of curious. Or at least at Odd Shark. I'm sure there's plenty of places to look. Probably not the best place, but either way. Let's see. Yeah, okay, we got them. Thursday, Arizona is favored by 7 over Clemson. UConn is favored by 10.5 over San Diego State.
Lay them.
Lay the 10.5.
Yeah.
Feel good about that?
Yep.
They can run it to 9 for consecutive double digit.
I think so.
North Carolina is favored by 4.5 over Alabama. I might just take my 4.5 and we'll see what happens.
Because if you tell me that game's 2 points,
North Carolina is a weird 1 seed that's undervalued, probably in a way,
bit.
They're also gettable.
Yeah.
It's just
yeah.
Iowa State -2 against Illinois, as evidenced by that going to be a game.
Oof.
It's going to be a really good game.
Should be a great game.
Mark
Thursday.
That's Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday night.
There's a lot Thursday night.
But it's like last night. TV did a really good job of spacing the correct games at right times. Like all the games that I had the most interest in were the 4 late ones last night, where I went, no, that's the 4 that I want to see. Marquette -6.5 against NC State. Run probably over for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, it feels over. Marquette's pretty good, especially now that they have Kolek back.
Purdue giving 5 to Gonzaga.
I just wouldn't touch it.
Stay away.
I would.
Houston -4 against the Blue Devils. Duke playing pretty well right now.
Duke's playing real well. Duke's got men down low. Don't be shocked. I mean, when Duke's Cinderella, we're over our skis a little bit. Duke's talented.
We are kind of doing that right now, aren't we?
Roach, the freshman for them, he's an elite player.
Yeah, Duke is the underdog right now. We're trying to keep into this thing.
Kyle Filipowski's a top 10 pick.
So it's not like
no, there's talent. That's not Yale out there.
Well, it's like somebody was showing the comebacks the other day, and they're like, had a 19-point comeback against so-and-so. It's like, that ain't Duke. It's over.
Yeah.
Night.
Yeah.
Dukes. Let's see.
Yeah, they kept saying, they think they're the better team, and I think I've got a full head of hair. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, they're not.
And then Tennessee minus 2.5.
They're delusional. I mean, what are we? Big deal.
Tennessee minus 2.5 against Creighton.
Kind of like Creighton plus
I like
points.
Creighton. I kind of like Creighton in general. Like, I sort of like
I can be happy either
Missouri
way.
Valley kind of basketball and stuff.
I know I shouldn't say this on an Ole Miss-centric show, but I kind of like Tennessee basketball.
Okay.
Shoot me.
You like Rick Barnes.
I like Rick.
You do. You
He's
like
very
Rick
nice,
Barnes.
And I like that team. I like Zakai Ziegler. I like Vescovi.
Dalton Connect.
Triple J. They're fun. They're good. They play the game the right way. I like them. I'm sorry. Shoot me.
Oh, look, 98.4% of my hate is Wes Rucker related for Tennessee.
I 100% get it.
I don't want him to be happy, okay?
I know.
That's all.
I know.
That's all I'm saying.
And I share that. It's kind of over. I get past
Ole Miss beat him in baseball on Saturday, and I went, you talk about that, Wes? You on there? No, nothing? Okay. Nothing? All right.
Boy, looking back, that ninth inning rally was big. They don't get that.
Oh.
That's 3 up, 3 down. This is a different conversation.
It really is. No, look, hey, one.
Got it. But yeah,
I
know.
One game.
I know.
But you probably shouldn't get run ruled a lot.
Yeah, it's as a rule.
Ole Miss a 9.5-point underdog to Notre Dame today in South Bend.
I don't know.
I can't break it down, guys.
I couldn't begin to.
Notre Dame has 3 really good offensive players. Sunu Collins being out for Ole Miss is a big deal. Like, it's going to be a chore.
How good would Notre Dame be if they had Caitlin Clark this year with that team?
Well, that's what I said. When I read it and you mentioned it, oh, boy. Because it's kind of my thing. And I don't know. Let me preface this with I don't know crap about Iowa's structure in any way with their athletic department.
Mm-hmm.
But you knew in the entire offseason that you had Caitlin Clark for one more year. And she's not even making money out of your collective because she has national deals. Couldn't go get her a post player?
I know.
Nobody in Iowa City was willing to pony up to go, hey, let's go steal another guard and let's go steal a post. Let's go buy a title for Caitlin Clark.
Absolutely.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
LSU had Dylan Cruz and went, hey, Paul Skeens, come on down.
Come on. Let's do this. Let's get us one. Yeah. And it worked.
I wonder a little bit because that was my whole deal when I kept seeing LSU making moves in the offseason. I'm going, Iowa.
Hey, what are y'all doing?
Go get somebody.
Yeah, just go steal somebody.
Because somebody would love to play down low with Caitlin Clark.
Get a list of the top 10 post players in women's basketball.
Go grab one of them.
Make them all an offer.
Yeah.
Jump in that tampering portal and make everybody an offer.
Yeah. It's kind of weird.
By the way, I can't remember where I saw it. Someone on the internet was whining about tampering the other day, and I was like, oh, stop. Nope.
Oh, that's not even in the realm of a conversation
I wanted
anymore.
to just fire salvos. I didn't. I bit my tongue. Everyone's tampering. Your coach is tampering, and your team is being tampered with.
Tennessee, the Lady Vols, a 4.5-point underdog to North Carolina State today. UConn, as I mentioned the other day, a team that no one even talks about, which is crazy with Gino and UConn and the whole deal. Paige Beckers. They are a 20.5-point favorite over the Syracuse Orange today in a 3-6 game. And then that Iowa game. Iowa, from a Vegas standpoint, which I'm sure they get a lot of heat, just people betting on Caitlin Clark no matter what. 15.5 is the spread on that one.
It's a big number.
It's a big number. 163 total. Iowa, the number 1 scoring offense in the country. 15.5.
Did you see the camera caught? She was bitching about the officiating.
Who are you talking about?
Caitlin.
Oh, okay.
She's hyper competitive too,
Yeah.
like the elite people. elite people are just different.
So if she's coaching somebody in 10 years, you won't be shocked that she's.
I wonder what she will be doing in 10 years. Probably play in the WNBA.
Yeah.
But they caught her dad in the stands looking down. And they made eye contact with one another, and he went, "Just shut up."
Did he really?
Yeah. You're like, it was the reminder of she's still a kid.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's dad. And he goes, "Just shut up."
Yeah.
Like, and you can see he's just boiling over with frustration.
Yeah.
And yet that stuff that courses through her veins that makes her so hyper competitive.
Credit to two schools for just being basketball schools, by the way, because I'm looking at it here. Gonzaga's a 4 seed. They're still alive in the women's, and Creighton is still alive as well on the women's side also there. So,
yeah,
maybe they care about basketball in those places a little bit.
They're not worried about football at Creighton.
They are not. The Blue Jays probably suck. Whatever
They're decent in baseball? Okay.
Yeah. They get to play at TD Ameritrade a lot.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's about it.
They get to host.
They do. And they're all their ops people have to work the College World Series because they're technically the host of the College World Series. Yeah, so they have to. It was their track man and all their analytics people when.
What if their radio crew does like something in
like the local stream or whatever?
Yeah, it does, and he was really good. I read something about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember.
That's fine. It's all good. So anyway, those are your things. 1 o'clock, 7 o'clock, obviously for people around here. The two biggest games: Ole Miss and Notre Dame, and then Iowa tonight, West Virginia.
What's the baseball midweek this week?
Austin Peay tomorrow night, and then Kentucky Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh yeah.
Ole Miss, a little odd. They only have 3 Thursday games this year. 2 are at home, and one of them's the last week when everybody's on the road.
Yep.
The other one's Fayetteville and Alabama, I believe. And Ole Miss. So Ole Miss plays on Easter and Mother's Day at home this season. That's a little bit of a weird schedule thing. The Mother's Day game, however, starts at 5 p.m. on a Sunday. 5 p.m. start time there. I don't know why. My guess is graduation related because it's graduation weekend, and Ole Miss has grown to the point there are things on Sunday now. So I think that's what's happening there, but that's my guess. But anyway, just be aware of that Ole Miss is playing on Easter and Mother's Day.
I thought about going to Fayetteville to cover for you, but that's OHS prom weekend, and I don't think that's a wise decision on my part.
I don't think that's the move.
I think that's a good way to get myself in the doghouse.
Yeah, I don't think
further into the doghouse.
Yeah, don't think that's the thing. So, all right, we'll recap those and more tomorrow. We'll probably talk a little more football. Got a couple things that we didn't get to today with that and more. So, I hope you have a wonderful day. Appreciate everybody in the stream, super chats, and more. We'll talk to you again on Tuesday. Take care.